Howdy homies, it's the first camping trip of the season and I am pumped. We have a lot of firsts going on this time around. First overnighter of the season, first time taking the 4Runner out into the woods, first time with a new tent, never even set it up, first time with a new stove, first time filming on my GoPro Hero 12. We're also supposed to get the first big snowstorm of the year. Snow is starting tonight, so that's fun. I'm really looking forward to that because so far this winter has sucked. The weatherman says we're gonna get pounded, and you know what the weatherman does? Sucks. So, fingers crossed, hoping for some snow. Being that there's some snow on the way, I hauled in a whole bunch of gear. I'm gonna unload it all, and then I'm gonna drive back to the house. I am on my own property. As much as I want to leave the 4Runner out here and drive home in it tomorrow, I can't do that because there's a storm coming and I'm afraid some trees will fall down on it. Something stupid might happen. I mean, as you can tell, there's just stuff down everywhere because that's what happens when you're in the woods. And tomorrow, when there's some snow, I'm gonna haul all that gear back with this here jet sled. I even brought a table. Oh, this guy right here will make an excellent hanger. Nice. All right, I think I pretty much have this area cleaned up. All the high branches that I can reach have been pulled down and cut out of the way. So when the snow weighs them down, they're not gonna poke through my tent. I kind of cleaned up the ground, but there's some more to do. I can do that later. But before we get into the tent, new year, new bottle. Yeah, this was given to me by my mother-in-law for Christmas. 120 proof. Cheers, friends. It's the real deal. Never used these before. This is a first. Here is the tent that I'm using tonight. I'm super pumped about this. Room Noble 4-person. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that word right there. I mean, not so smart. I'm not gonna go too crazy on the specs and details of this tent because this is not a review video and I am running out of time. I just want to get this thing set up, see what it's all about, and get used to it. Set up my stove, cut some wood, settle in for the night, eat some food. But I'm really looking forward to using this tent. I'll dive into the details on it later. The tent has good heavy-duty stakeout points. You can get a pretty big stake through there. But it's webbing, easily adjustable, ample snow skirts. All right, tent is pitched. Let's take a look at this thing. It's got really nice heavy-duty stakeout points that are reinforced. We've got 2 vents. Stove jack. This tent only has 1 door, which is unfortunate. I'd really like to see 2, but this is a YKK waterproof zipper, which is impressive at the price point. Nice tall doors. I wish the pole had some more adjustment, but it has none. Easily modified. The vents do have mesh, which is really nice. Much more expensive tents don't have that option. And we have a stove jack. that was pretty easy to set up. This tent is 7 feet 10 inches tall. It's got a 14-foot wide base, and it's made out of a 30 denier ripstop sil nylon, and it weighs exactly 7.5 pounds with all the stakes, with the pole, the outer fly. This whole tent setup is 7.5 pounds on my scale. And here's the kicker. It's $299. This tent has almost identical specs to the Seek Outside 6-man TP. The Seek Outside 6-man is a $914 tent, and this is $299. So I don't know. I'm going to reserve judgment for later, but I have high hopes. With any luck, the snow that we get tonight doesn't crumple this thing, because we could get up to a foot of snow, maybe even more, maybe even quite a bit less. Who knows? Because why? The weathermen, you guessed it. Now that that's done, I can move on to the stove. But before I show you guys the stove, let's have a drink. Shelter is up, stove is up and running, lights are on, things are looking good. I need to get some water. All right, these lights, I've never used them before. This is the first time. These are Bright Tech Ambience Pro USB powered LED string lights. I believe it's 12 feet, 10 of these guys. And I have them plugged into my 28,000 milliamp battery pack. So we'll see how long they last. I've got no idea how long these are gonna last, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how much light I can get out of these things. Right now I've just got them bunched up on the pole in here, the center pole. I'm hungry, I need some food. No snow yet, but it's cold out there. Not in here. Nice and toasty in here. I'm about to hammer on this soup. This is soup that Dina made. It is chicken, sun-dried tomatoes, spinach, Parmesan cheese, chicken broth, celery, some potatoes. It's absolutely fantastic. It's so good. Oh, that soup was amazing. Whew, nice and hot. I'm full, hearty. Still no snow yet. 7 o'clock. Snow is late. Shocker. I'd like to give you the tour. There's the door. There's my cot. Bunch of my gear. My table. My large jet sled with some wood in it. And the wood stove. The stove is heating up this tent quite nicely, that's for sure. Very warm in here. I've got my Eureka cot paired with my Nemo Tensor Alpine sleeping pad and my Outdoor Vitals 0 degree sleeping bag. That should keep me pretty comfy. And for my pillow, I have the Climate Pillow X, which I put inside a fleece pillowcase that I made. Makes it way more comfy. I'm ready for bed, except I'm not really ready for bed. It's 9 o'clock now and I'm really tired. So I'm just gonna go to bed and hopefully it's gonna start snowing overnight, and when I wake up in the morning, it's gonna be a winter wonderland. Currently, this has been one of the more comfortable hot tenting nights that I've ever had. This Winterwell large stove, the Nomad, is cranking out heat like I'm not used to in a hot tent setup. And the space of this tent is nice. The big cot in here, that's nice. I'm digging it. Hopefully it holds up to the snow that we get, and we'll see. These lights, these things are awesome. It's the illumination station. Well, it's about 9:15, and the wind is blowing, and the snow is starting. It's not snowing hard, but it's snowing hard enough to hear it on the tent, which is good enough for me. The sound of snow hitting a tent is right up there for me with a crackling fire or running water. Just a really good sound. Puts me right to sleep. So, it's begun. With any luck, I'm going to wake up and there's going to be a bunch of snow. Unless things get really interesting, I'll see you in the morning. This window right here, you can't even tell that there's a window there. Isn't that crazy? Really makes me wonder if the view is actually worth the extra money, because that glass panel is pretty much useless. Good morning. I made it. The tent made it. There's definitely a little snow out there. It's a lot tighter in here now. This is always the worst part. Well, the tent, she's loaded up with snow pretty good. But it held up. That's great. Tent handled the snow load. Ugh, I slept really well last night. The sound of the snow did the trick, put me right to sleep. I only woke up once, turned around, went to the bathroom, right back out. Here I am. All right, well, let's open this thing up, see what it looks like outside. Step out into this magical world and take a look, huh? The tent was being pushed against the corner of my cot. And it never broke. It held. So that's great. Thing's rugged. Now that I've cleaned the snow off in the tent, you can really hear the snow hitting it. When that snow builds up and creates a layer on the tent, everything gets really quiet in here. You're insulated from sound. It doesn't even sound like it's snowing. Last night when I woke up, I didn't think it was snowing anymore, and it was coming down pretty good when I went outside to check it out. So, yeah, now it's pretty noisy in here. Yep. Alright guys, so my first impressions of the Hill Zero Room Noble 4. This thing is awesome. I wish that it had 2 zippers, but not a deal breaker to me, especially at the price point. I'm very, very impressed with this tent. Took a snow load like a champ, and that's half the battle. I'm really looking forward to getting some more time in with this tent, getting a better feel for what it's capable of and really putting it through its paces. It's not a tent that I'm going to recommend at the moment because I've only used it once, but my first impressions are very solid. I'm quite happy with this thing. However, I did mess up. I made a boo-boo last night. Let me show you. In my haste to get this thing set up, I unzipped the stove jack flap and I didn't loop it back. And that was a fatal flaw because the wind kicked up, blew it right up against the stovepipe. That thing is smoked. I'm gonna have to rig something up to fix that because it's toast. And we can't have that. But that's my bad. That is absolutely my fault. No fault of the tent. Other than that, the thing did awesome. I'd also like to point out that I did not guy this tent out last night. I should have, because there was a snowstorm coming and I knew it, but I wanted to see what it was going to do. And what it did was hold up. I am impressed. And I'm glad that I have that tent. I like it. I hope I continue to like it. Now I have to break it down and head home. Check out the stakes that come with this thing. Those are pretty awesome. They worked well. I don't know how well they'd work in deep snow. Probably not at all, but you know. All right, folks, I'm all packed up. Got everything all packed up in the polk, and I'm ready to do some polking. Polk pulling. Oh yeah. This was a lot of fun. It's about time we finally got some snow, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. It's supposed to snow all day. Who knows how much we're gonna end up with. What a treat. New England winter is finally here. Yes! Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. This was a fun outing for me. I love testing gear, getting my paws on new gear. And Happy New Year. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.